What's up, everybody? It's Ro. Welcome back for another episode of Mommy Virtue, brought to you by MetroHealth. Of course, this is your safe place, your resource center, your village for moms, moms-to-be, and moms even past postpartum, to just have that support and resources from a community of mothers to mothers and doctors and nurses and everyone to help you be your healthiest for you and the baby. From education classes to pregnancy groups, MetroHealth has various resources to help you and your baby have the healthiest start. In today's episode, Emily Biehl is here. She's an OB-GYN and nurse practitioner at MetroHealth. We're going to dive deep into all the resources available for expecting mothers, and this is to help them prepare for pregnancy, of course, postpartum, and then beyond that. So you ready to dive in?
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for coming. So what type of classes or resources does MetroHealth offer for both expectant mothers and their families?
Yeah, Metro offers so many different resources and classes. We have things from childbirth education classes, which is just a general overview of pregnancy, what to expect, get the mom and the family, prepared for the delivery. Also more in depth, we have daddy boot camps. So it's great just for, the dads that they have no idea what's going on, how to support, their partner throughout the whole delivery postpartum experience too. We also have infant safety classes, which can be taken, pregnancy, postpartum, as well as breastfeeding classes too.
Yeah.
And those help, again, pregnancy and postpartum.
Absolutely. So I think it's safe to say in our generation, or just all the generations, women especially feel like we got it all under control. Especially women who have had babies. So it's like, I've done this before. This is my third or fourth child. But there are women who have no experience, or they've been kind of misled by other family members or just society. Why do you feel it's so important for these classes to be taken?
Yeah, and that's such a good point because like you said too, it could be your first baby or, you don't have that family support, right? You don't have a mom in your life. You don't have, someone to kind of walk you through the experience. So having these classes teaches you, what are you going to expect? Some people don't know what's normal and what's not in pregnancy to expect. And just kind of going over that is so important to have. And, at Metro, we really want everyone to feel prepared and supported throughout the pregnancy. I think that's the biggest thing that we push is we want you to feel comfortable. We want you to know what's going on and that we all support you.
Yeah, because it's a lot having a baby. Do you have kids?
I don't, and it makes me nervous, right? Seeing all these things and you learn a new thing all the time. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how some moms do it. That's the thing. Having, even if it's your fourth kid, right? Every pregnancy is different and every experience you go through, it can be, it's scary, right? At sometimes it's emotional, it's physical, all these things that, you have going through. It's not what everyone thinks it is, right? It's not just, okay, I'm growing a baby. This is so fun. There's a lot of scary things that can come with it. And, we want to be able to support people to make it less nerve-wracking.
To be, like you said, to be as prepared. I mean, obviously things can change and be different in that moment, but I think if you can mentally prepare yourself, and even physically in a lot of cases, it does help. Like I only have one child, but my mom, I have 3 siblings, so she had 4. And she says that all of the pregnancies were different. So she had epidural, she did not have epidural, and I know I don't know because I had epidural. But to the point of, again, every situation is different. So what you think you're prepared for, you might not be prepared for. So take the classes. Okay?
Yes.
What type of support does MetroHealth offer for postpartum mothers?
Yeah, support for postpartum moms is endless, really, and it's dependent on the mom specifically too. So if you have complications during the pregnancy or the postpartum period where you have high blood pressure, we'll send the moms home with a blood pressure cuff to monitor their blood pressures postpartum.
Nice.
And the ones that are at higher risk, preeclampsia, on a high dose of medication, we actually do a 2-week check-in on video. Myself, I do that with the moms just to see, okay, is this worsening? Do you need a change in your medication? Now, what's the future like, right? So if you had preeclampsia during your pregnancy, what does this mean for me in the future? Because in the postpartum period, they're not going to hear anything that you're saying about, preeclampsia, the risk in the future and stuff like that. And then obviously too, like for mental health as well, that's a big support
Absolutely.
we have postpartum. I feel like it used to be such a stigma having postpartum depression, but now it's so widely talked about, and we have a lot of resources to go behind that too. So we screen everyone postpartum for postpartum depression.
Okay.
If they meet an at-risk score, then we will set them up with the resources that they need inpatient, like initially when they're there.
Yeah.
Also do a check-in with them at 2 weeks postpartum. So
Nice.
that's something I do with them as well. And at that visit, we see, okay, are you still having these feelings? Because a lot of women experience postpartum blues. About 80% of women. That's during the first 2 weeks, and then they should go away after that. So at that 2-week visit, we see, okay, are you still feeling, what you were feeling initially postpartum? What can we do to help?
Yeah.
Counseling, medication, resources. Where can we bridge you to kind of meet those gaps that you're having?
I love it because I know you guys say you screen before they leave.
Yes.
But what if a mother doesn't have those symptoms and she's not feeling those things and she develops them and she might not understand that is postpartum depression? Then you guys tapping in, like you said, 2 weeks later is really good.
Yeah. And they always, the ability to message your provider, through the systems is great, because if you're ever feeling anything, we're always there to connect with the resources and stuff too. And it's something screened all throughout pregnancy as well. And we try and educate patients too on things to watch out for.
I love it because the reality is some moms are legit doing it by themselves.
Yes.
When they leave the hospital, they don't have a support. So I think it's super important that they know they have that in MetroHealth. So thank you guys, because that's awesome. What specific topics should expectant mothers and families educate themselves on prior to the birth of their baby? For example, like lead exposure or stuff that can happen after birth, complications and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there's a huge realm of things that you should know. That's a good point. So post-birth warning signs, that's a big thing that patients should know about. So that stuff, headache that doesn't go away after birth, heavy bleeding, having changes in your vision, seizures, a fever that doesn't go away, general stuff like that. We'll teach patients to watch out for. Also, how you kind of talked on lead exposure. We have a lead program here at Metro too that'll screen moms that feel like they have, the old homes. Cleveland has a lot of old homes. And if they do test positive for lead in the homes, they will actually send someone to help them like screen for it. And also will help with moving as well too. And really that stems from, we have a great community of workers. So there are community health workers. They help connect patients with different resources, such as the food bank, furniture banks, also with utility help, rent help, pack and plays, diapers, like you name it. That you can help. Because like you said, some moms are alone. They don't have that support. And it's, you worry about raising a child, but not having any of those resources makes it that much harder. And we want to try and like help, those that identify they're at that need too.
Yeah, like could you imagine being a mom and not having a pack and play or a bassinet or a crib for your child? So that is one of those scary things that you think about. But then you're like, you also kind of are like, well, wait a second, I should have that. But some moms don't have that. That's just the reality.
They don't. And it's the great thing that I've realized from working at Metro is the amount of connections and resources that we can offer for patients, because
that's amazing.
It's hard to, if you're taking care of a patient and they don't have the resources, it makes it that much harder, right? To provide them the care that they deserve. So being able to connect them with those resources is wonderful.
Yeah, and then you have like the moms who, some moms have twins.
Yes, they do.
You have like double the craziness going on in your motherly life. And it's like you might have other kids at home. There could be a lot. You're working, you're trying to breastfeed, you're doing all these things. And there's just so many layers of concern that you could have as a mom or just a parent, guardian in general. So it's really, really nice. Again, I keep reiterating that because I don't want it to be missed that those resources aren't there. Those resources are there for you at MetroHealth. So that's awesome. What is centering pregnancy and why should women consider joining at MetroHealth?
Yeah, so centering pregnancy is one of my favorite things we do here. I help run a session here. So it's a group model of prenatal care. So it goes instead of your normal visits, where you get like 5 minutes in the office with a provider. It's a group of patients that are around the same gestational age or around the same time in pregnancy. We are there for about 90 minutes to 2 hours. And we go over like the educational stuff that they might find in those, you know, prenatal, the classes too. We offer, you know, we go over childbirth education, breastfeeding. We talk about lead exposure. We talk about, you know, things like sexual assault, domestic violence. We kind of touch on every topics. You know, what do you want for your kids? Like, you know, what do you want, you know, for birth control, breastfeeding? We hit it all in these classes, and you still get that one-on-one time with the provider, but then you're in a group setting. It builds, you know, friendships as well too, because some of these moms are alone, and a lot of the time it's tailored to first-time moms. Anyone can join, but it's great for the first-time moms because then they can kind of have a friend. A lot of them like get phone numbers, you know, for nice. After we have a reunion at the end of, you know, the year when they have their babies. So they bring their babies and we all meet. It's great because you get all this time, you know, with the provider, and then you might ask questions that other people are too scared to ask, or, you know, didn't think of. Or they talk about like what weird cravings they have, and they're excited to hear someone else is craving the same thing or going through the same discomfort or having the same struggles. So I love that. Yeah, it's great.
So I do want to add something, and this is just a factor to why that I think that is so amazing. I had in vitro.
Okay.
So that's how I gave birth to I gave natural birth, but to get the process, I did in vitro. That's a whole nother situation, but I won't give you all the science behind it. But what I learned in my experience of that whole process, it was so mute. Like when I would go to the doctor's appointments, we would sit in the waiting room, nobody talked. You never really knew what was going on. There wasn't a lot of smiles. It was very mute. And it was just in my mind, I'm like, what are these women feeling? Are they feeling what I'm feeling? And it was just an unnerving kind of like thing for me, because I was just like, dang, I want to talk to these women. Like, I want to know if anybody's feeling what I'm feeling. I want to know what they're going through. And it's a very touchy situation, obviously. But I love the fact that if you are having any concerns or any jitters or just the happiness that you want to share, you don't have to get on like Facebook chat or whatever, you know what I mean? Like your forum is centering pregnancy, and you have a live group of women that you can build with and bond with and cry with and laugh with. And that was something I didn't get. Not that I needed it. I had a great support system. I have a great support system, but I love that is a resource for women, because I think if more women had that, their experience would be a little bit more not so scary.
And you know, people bring up things that you might not expect to think about in the pregnancy. Like someone didn't know, okay, am I gonna get anxious? Why am I crying at like a puppy on the street? You know, and it's like, oh, you're talking about it. So people they do bring up vulnerable things too in the group when they feel comfortable, and it's really great. Everyone's so supportive, and the partners can also come too to the group. So it's great to have that, you know, model of care.
Centering pregnancy. Remember that. Remember that. Okay, what is the Nurse Family Partnership at MetroHealth, and what resource does it provide?
So the Nurse Family Partnership is a one-on-one nurse that, you know, at-risk patients can qualify for. Usually, again, first-time moms, and it's basically like your personal nurse, right? That comes to your house, walks with you through the pregnancy, teaches you things throughout the pregnancy, checks your like blood pressure, checks on you, see how you're doing. They follow up to 2 years of life of the baby too. So it's a great support to have, especially for first-time moms that don't have that support system. I mean, or if you have all the support in the world that you need, but you don't have like medical knowledge, medical help, and you feel like you want that extra support, of course, that's wonderful too.
I mean, especially if it's available to you, why not take advantage of the resources?
And all these programs are free, right? So it's not like they're at cost to any of the patients too.
Well, see, can you say that again? They're free. Seriously. But what I love about that name of that resource is Nurse Family Partnership, because what I was going to say is it honestly sounds like an extended family. MetroHealth is literally an extended family when it comes to mothers and their whole pregnancy journey. So I love that about you guys and what you bring to mothers and families. So what I do want to ask you, you said that Centering Pregnancy is your favorite program, but what do you feel like is one of the most important resource or programs that a mother listening right now should tap into when it comes to MetroHealth?
That is so tough, because like I said, we have so many resources. I think if you're having a pregnancy at MetroHealth, really connecting with our community health workers or our social workers will guide you through all the resources that you need.
Yeah.
Because they can help connect you, like I said, with so many different things that you might not even need to know. Like there's community baby showers in the area. They tell you about those.
Oh, wow.
You know, they'll help you go to appointments, like if you need like an extra,
transportation.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Of course, we help with transportation
Okay.
to all of our prenatal appointments if someone doesn't have it as well. So yeah, I think that's one of the most important. I mean, it's hard to pick and choose, you know, what
when you have so many.
There is,
like
they're all great to utilize.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really appreciate all the information.
Of course.
Thank you so much, Emily.
Of course.
Listen, MetroHealth takes pride in providing educational resources and individualized care for each mother and baby to start life with the healthiest possible outcome. For more detailed information on all the pregnancy resources right here at MetroHealth, make sure you visit metrohealth.org/OB-GYN or call 216-778-4444. Emily, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate all the knowledge and all the resources. Moms, tap in, share it with your loved ones, and let's create happy, healthy babies and moms.